Like, it sucks that there are people who genuinely quit cosplaying because they don't feel seen in the community, or like they don't feel like they don't get that support, or they just feel like everybody is against them. Hey bunnies, it's MOKKESPEAKS and welcome to my first official YouTube video. You see me with the Nami fit, the Nami wig, the Nami fucked up tattoo, but here we are. So welcome to our first segment of MOKKESPEAKS. So MOKKESPEAKS is basically just me ranting, yapping. I'm basically just talking about things I'm really passionate about, whether if it's cosplay culture, pop culture, my personal life, all that jazz. So today's first topic of MOKKESPEAKS is a very sensitive topic. It's going to be a pretty heavy topic on my heart. I'm very passionate about this topic on TikTok, and I'm bringing it more onto this platform to spread more awareness, and that is the reality of being a Black cosplayer. What I wish I knew when I first started as a Black cosplayer, what I've been through, what I've seen other people gone through, and also obviously it is Black History Month, so I really just want to use my platform to bring more awareness to what I've been through as a Black cosplayer. And I know that there are some other cosplayers and other Black people who really want to start this hobby, but they're probably scared and they want to know what to expect, so I'm here to help you with that. So without further ado, let's get started. If you guys see me looking to the side, that's my notes. I like to take some notes so I can stay organized and I know what I'm talking about. So let's get started with this topic. So the first thing I want to talk about is what started my passion for cosplay, why did I start cosplaying in the first place. So I have been an anime fan ever since late 2025. Well, I was introduced to anime in 2025. I was introduced in the worst way possible with the anime. Diabolic Lovers, we do not talk about that. That was my first introduction to anime. Unfortunately, my best friend got me into it and I thought, okay, this is weird. Let me check out some other animes. And then I looked, this was around the time also where you could watch full seasons and full episodes of anime without the copyright strike, so you could watch a full episode of anime on YouTube. So I was looking around YouTube. I ran into Rosario Vampire, did not like that much, thought that was weird. Ran into some other weird animes, thought they were weird, and then finally this was when I mentioned previously that I did have another YouTube channel around the time, but I had other mutuals around that time who were watching Fairy Tail, and I'm like, oh, okay, Fairy Tail, I'll check this out. Since a lot of my other friends are liking it, I'll watch it. So I watched it, I started watching it, and that was the beginning of everything. That was the beginning of everything. I loved it. I was obsessed with it, and I got my other friends at the time obsessed with it as well too. And also I moved schools around that time as well, and I got introduced to more friends who liked that anime as well, and they also introduced me to other animes as well. I remember I had a little crush on somebody and we bonded over Fairy Tail and Naruto as well too. So I was really into that up until 9th grade. In 9th grade, I kind of lost interest in anime for a little bit, so I kind of took a break from anime for like a year and a half. And after that year and a half, the pandemic happened, COVID happened, and everybody was on lockdown. I was extremely bored and I didn't know what to do, so I was out of my anime phase at the time, but I was really into cartoons at the time as well. So I was watching a lot of old cartoons like Hey Arnold, what else was I watching? Kim Possible. I loved Kim Possible, and I was just watching other cartoons. And then eventually I ran into Avatar: The Last Airbender, and now I had never watched that as a kid. I knew what it was, but I never watched it. I watched that for the first time and oh my goodness, literally my favorite cartoon of all time now. So after I finished, I'm like, now what? Now what do I watch? And then I remember, okay, I'm back on TikTok now. This is the first time I downloaded TikTok as well. So I'm also on Avatar: The Last Airbender TikTok, which has also had like a similar connection to anime TikTok. And I'm like, I haven't been into anime in a while. I haven't touched anime in a while. let me go back to anime. Let me go back to anime because I haven't touched it in a while. And that's when my love for anime really took off. Like, it was high. It was way more passionate than it ever was in middle school. I never went away from it after that. And then once I got into anime again, I got into well, I didn't get into cosplaying, but I discovered what cosplaying was. And I actually didn't know what cosplaying was at the time. I remember back when I just got introduced to anime, I saw this one MV that I forgot what con it was. I'll put it on the screen somewhere, but I saw this cosplay MV and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. I love this. And I even watched this other video of this one other YouTuber talking about their experience like with Black Cosplay. And this was way before I even considered becoming a cosplayer too. So I was watching those types of videos as well. I'm like, okay. So I did pretty much know what cosplaying was, but I didn't have the passion to do it though. So finally around 2021, like early 2021, I started following more cosplayers on TikTok. And I saw a lot of my favorite cosplayers, like who were mainly Black cosplayers, doing all these things. And I'm like, wow, like they're so cool. Like they have the curly wigs, they have the afros, they have colored braids. And that's what inspired me to start getting colored braids more also. I remember I got blonde braids for the first time in 2021 as well, which is also the day that my little brother was born too. So that was really cool, the first time I ever got colored hair. So after that, that's when I first did my first cosplay, which was Kin Cosme with my blonde braids. And it was chopped. But yeah, I started to get into anime more. I'm like, okay, this is something that I actually want to do. This is something that I want to do. This is something that I feel like I could really be good at if I practice and keep going. And I was a little scared at first because I had seen a lot of the hate that some of my favorite cosplayers were getting for being Black in cosplaying. And I'm like, okay, this might happen to me, so I'm going to have to expect this to happen to me. But I did not know how bad it was actually going to be for me. Like, I knew it was going to happen, don't get me wrong. Like, I know that happens with like every Black content creator, where if you're a cosplayer or not, you're going to get hate for being a Black content creator. So I knew that it was going to happen to me, but I didn't know exactly what was in store for me and what was about to come for me. That almost led me to stop cosplaying, and we're going to get into that now. So let's talk about my experience so far as a Black cosplayer and what I've had to endure for the last almost 4 years that I have been doing this hobby. So obviously, I'm doing more cosplays, I'm evolving, I'm going to more fans, I'm watching new shows, I'm expanding my horizon. Eventually, I get to the One Piece fandom, which, boy, do me and the One Piece fandom have some history. Do we have some history? I remember I was pretty much known on TikTok. I grew my following based off cosplaying Tony Chopper, who is my favorite Straw Hat in One Piece. So I pretty much cosplay him like almost every week. I would post a new video of me cosplaying him. And I remember there was one time where well, first of all, I was already getting a lot of hate comments before, as in like, oh, this character isn't Black, you can't cosplay this character because you're Black, which, okay, who cares? That's words, that's just words. This incident was like actually really worse, and I've talked about this incident a few times, but it's gonna be the first time where I pull up images again and look at the images from this incident, because it was really tough, and it almost made me quit cosplaying. So there was a time where I had posted this video of me on TikTok, and there was this trend going around for cosplayers asking what was the first thing that you noticed about your cosplay. So I thought I wanted to join this trend, and I was in my Tony Chopper cosplay. I had my pink braids in at the time. It was a pre-time skip cosplay that I was in. So I asked the audience, hey, what's the first thing you notice about my cosplay? The comments were nice at first. They were just saying, oh, I like your hair, I like your outfit, like the little Chopper plushie you had at the time. Then this one commenter comes in and says, oh, they noticed that I'm Black, basically. And I knew that it was like a jab at me. I knew that what they were doing, and I did make a response in that video. I clapped back. And I literally remember at the time, I had this one person in the comment section trying to gaslight me. I lost like the images of it, but we were literally going back and forth for like a whole hour because they're like, that's not what he meant. That's not what he meant. I'm like, no, I've gotten comments like this before. I knew what he was trying to do. I knew it. We were literally going back and forth for an hour. He was literally trying to gaslight me as if I didn't know what was going on. I eventually ended up blocking that commenter. I kept the video of me clapping back at him. Next day, I go to bed. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm done with the situation. I go to bed. I wake up to see that the person who made the comment saying that I was black towards me, he had changed something in his bio, and it called me a mid-monkey chopper. And then I go on his page and I see a video that he made of my profile comparing me to a monkey as well. And I'm like, I'm in shock. I'm like, how do we even let this get this far? Like, are you serious? Mind you, this was also like some 13-year-old boy, which I know I should have taken it seriously, and I know I should have probably clapped back, but it's like, is it ever that serious? Why did you even make the comment in the first place? So I remember I ended up like blocking him. I had like a lot of my mutuals at the time coming to defend me and like trying to report the account too. And I eventually ended up blocking him. And like I was really, this whole situation was really stressing me out because I was going through a lot at the time. So then I block him. I continue on with my life like for a little bit at the time. And then I see him come back with a whole second account, putting monkey pictures and tagging me in them as well. And had the same bio as well, mid-monkey chopper. And I'm just in shock. And once again, I have more of my mutuals coming to defend me. And like the situation was getting so bad and like I was getting so overwhelmed that I went private for like a week or so on my account. And I knew that I had to bring awareness to this situation on how black cosplayers were treated. So I ended up making a whole Instagram post sharing my experience of what I've been through and just bringing awareness. And I ended up getting so much support from that account. Also, I met a lot of my great mutuals that I have now because of that incident. So I'm really disappointed that the incident happened. I'm very glad that something good came out of it, because around that time is when I got into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and a lot of people in the JoJo community came to my defense and came to support me and mutual me and spread awareness to what happened to me. So I was really grateful for that. And if y'all know who you are, so thank you guys so much. It's been like almost that happened in 2022. It's been like 2.5 years now, but that still had a very big impact on me. Just seeing how many people came together to support me was so nice. So I thank you guys for that. But gosh, was that incident intense. I remember I literally broke down crying over this incident because like I was just like, I don't understand how somebody can have so much hate or so much resentment in their heart to just bully somebody for doing a hobby that they love. Like, I know I wasn't the best looking cosplayer at that time, but I was genuinely having fun. Like, I was making friends from that hobby, for my hobby that I do. I was having fun and like I was just expressing myself, and it was just a really fun time. And just to have that happen to me when I was going through so much at a time when I was using cosplay as an scapegoat, it was really heartbreaking. And I really almost ended up quitting cosplay around that time. Thank God I didn't, because I would have not been where I am now if I had just quit. Now, there was also another incident that I had, once again, with the One Piece community too, when I did a Sanji cosplay. This incident wasn't as intense as the other one, I don't think, but it still did affect me though. Actually, it was pretty bad too, because I had a video that went viral of me. You guys know that those little eye catchers that they do in One Piece all the time, like the little quote-unquote commercial breaks. I love to recreate those little eye catchers as well. I'm gonna post more to my YouTube shorts as well too, so you can see more of them. I posted my Nami one, so go check that out too. But I had made an eye catcher video of my Sanji, and I really liked the video, and that's actually my most viewed cosplay video of all time at 100K views on TikTok. I ended up getting so much hate for that video. I had people, the video was viewed from all around the world, obviously, as on TikTok. I literally had people from different languages, different countries, just coming together, and it just seemed like everybody was hating on me. I had to filter so many comments of me being called the you know what word, the just a bunch of slurs, and just, it was horrible. And I was literally waking up in the middle of the night around that time, just seeing all these hate comments about me. And once again, I made another video bringing awareness to this topic, and I did get a lot of support again from the cosplay community too. And it was just really hard. Like, I didn't want to cosplay Sanji anymore again after that, and I love Sanji. I just don't understand. Like, it sucks that there are people who genuinely quit cosplaying because they don't feel seen in the community, or like they don't feel like they don't get that support, or they just feel like everybody is against them. And that's not what cosplay should be about. Cosplay should be about expressing yourself, whether if you're Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what, the characters aren't Black, but guess what? A lot of these characters that these people want to say that we can't cosplay because they're not Black, but then they praise these white cosplayers. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with white cosplayers cosplaying. Don't get me wrong for that. Anybody can cosplay any character as long as they're respectful. But they'll say, oh, these characters aren't Black, but they aren't white either. So I don't understand that. Like, why do y'all specifically target us Black cosplayers for cosplaying these characters who aren't Black? I don't get it. Somebody just explained it to me. Like, it's been almost 4 years since I started cosplaying, and I have never understood that. I just, like, it really just baffles me. So, yeah, I got a lot of hate. I did want to quit from time to time, but I didn't. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because if I were to quit many years ago, I would have never met the friends that I have now, who support me, who I go to cons with, who we have fun together. But I'm here to stay, and I'm gonna be doing this hobby for as long as I can. And I don't really give a you-know-what anymore about what people think. Does it hurt sometimes? Yes. But this is why we have these resources and these tips that I'm going to give you guys in a minute of how we can, all of us Black cosplayers can survive and keep going, and so we don't have to quit or leave this hobby because of what other people have to say. And here's some advice that I'm going to give to you new cosplayers who might be scared to start cosplaying. I got y'all, so let's go. One of the first words of advice that I can give you guys is to protect your peace. Do not always clap back at every hate comment that you see or give it attention. I know that's easier said than done. I know you want to clap back and defend yourself, and you have every right to defend yourself, don't get me wrong. But when you clap back way too much, you feed into the trolls way too much, that's just going to put you into a bad mental state, and you're not going to have the motivation to keep doing this hobby. And I know that from personal experience, as we previously talked about my experiences when I did clap back at a hater and how that ended up for me. So what I can really recommend you guys is filtering comments. I know TikTok does a really good job at filtering comments. You can keyword comment certain words that you don't want to put or see it in your feed. For example, I filter hockey, minority hunter, the you know what words, certain emojis that I don't want to see commented as well. It's very unfortunate as well that we even have to do this and that other people don't have to do this in the community. But like I said, if we want to protect our peace and continue this hobby, we gotta do what's best for our own mental health. So filter comments and try to ignore them. Even I know Instagram Reels is also very hard at filtering comments as well. So what I can really recommend sometimes, this is what I personally do. If I'm cosplaying from for example, One Piece. We already talked about how toxic the One Piece fandom is. Just turn off the comments. Just turn off the comments. Like, yeah, I know you're probably gonna see some nice comments from your friends and your followers, but if a video goes viral, let me tell you, shut that down immediately for your own mental health being. Shut it down. Just shut it down altogether, and you won't regret it. You don't have to see the hate comments, and you can keep the post up because you like the post. So just protect your peace and do what makes you feel most comfortable on your platform. My second word of advice that I could give a baby Black cosplayer is form a community. Form a community. Find Black mutuals, find Black friends to cosplay with. Go to Black, mainly predominantly Black conventions such as BlurredCon, DreamCon. I'm sure there's other conventions, but those are the two most popular ones that I can think of that have mainly big Black spaces. There's a lot of new Black photo shoots coming out as well. I went to Anime Week in Atlanta and there was a Black photo shoot for Black cosplayers. So definitely like form a community there and find friends within the community. Don't get me wrong, we should all be forming a community no matter what, like no matter what race you are. We should find friends through any cosplayer. But when you find cosplayers who go through the same experiences as you, who look like you, who have the same hobbies as you, you're gonna feel loved and supported in that group as well. Because especially the group of friends and mutuals I have now as well, just being able to go to cons with them and joke about things that I can't joke about with anybody else, it's a really fun experience and I love it so much. And we give each other good advice and tips, like when it comes to our makeup, when it comes to our wigs and styles as well. So yeah, find a community, find a loving, supportive group of Black cosplayers to be friends with, and this hobby is going to be 10 times more fun, because I know definitely finding more Black cosplayers for me in my area it made my hobby much more fun. And the last word of advice that I can give you guys is just to authentically be yourselves. Who cares what people say? Who cares what someone has to say about your hair or your makeup or your style or your skin tone or how you look? Be yourself, and that goes for every cosplayer as well. Whether if you're a plus size cosplayer, disabled cosplayer, another POC cosplayer, a brown cosplayer, authentically be yourself and genuinely just cosplay the character that you want to. I have done so many characters. I have been able to describe myself and express myself in so many characters who I haven't done yet and who I have done yet. And oh my goodness, it's just that feeling that you get when you see yourself in a character. It always feels good as well, just to cosplay your favorite characters and add your own version and your own twist to them and just authentically be yourself. And also cosplaying has really made me find my style outside of cosplaying as well. I would have never guessed I would have been getting blonde hair and blonde braids outside of cosplaying and not just for costume. I never thought I would be wearing makeup, because eventually I was going to just start doing makeup just for cosplay. I was never going to be a makeup girly in my everyday life, and now here I am wearing makeup every day. So when you like genuinely get into this hobby, trust me, you're definitely gonna discover things about yourself that you've never seen before. And I really just hope if anybody has any questions about how to like start cosplaying, I'm planning on also doing another tip video for just baby cosplayers in general, not just Black cosplayers, but just cosplayers in general as well, because I have some advice that I can give to every cosplayer out there too. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. This was a very touchy topic. Like I said, I was a little bit all over the place because sometimes this topic can be really hard to talk about, but I just really want to bring awareness to this, especially on Black History Month. If you guys ever see anybody getting harassed or bullied, what if it's your mutual or your favorite content creator, please stick up for them. Please say something. Report the comment. Even if you don't want to say anything, report the comment, because we need to fight against racism in the cosplay community. This has always been a topic that I've been extremely passionate about, and I will continue to be more passionate about this topic as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this first episode of MOKKESPEAKS. I hope you guys will tune in for my next topic video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!